Manic, pertaining to or affected by excessive excitement or enthusiasm, praise.
This is Manic Mindset. It's time for another Manic episode with Haley and Lynn. Join us each week as we dive down the rabbit hole of navigating life while being hyper-focused on success. Our manic moments are where some of our best ideas come from. We not only embrace the chaos, we thrive in it.
What's up, manic people? We have a special guest in the house today. Drum roll, please. This is not the K plus 8, okay? This is Kelly. Kelly, introduce yourself because we are so excited to have you on and we can't wait to talk about your crazy life. I thought mine was crazy, but girl, buckle up. Yours is crazier.
Chaotic. So I'm Kelly. I am the CEO of Closet of Hope, which is a local nonprofit here in Summerville, South Carolina. We basically support foster children when they come into care, and of course I'm married, and to top it off I have 18 children.
I never can keep counting like 16, 17.
I always forget
18.
when
I
she
definitely
says-
did not have the number 18 in my
No,
head.
you know what? I always get stuck on 20 because you and Tim. So I was like, yeah, there's 20 kids. And people
One of the things that I think is super interesting is how Closet of Hope became Closet of Hope. I didn't know this until we did a recent interview for GlowFest, and I thought that you should tell people about like how it started.
So it started, obviously we started fostering in 2019, and we started taking all these children. Some days we could take one every day. And it got to where we didn't have items for, the children every single day, but there were 3 girls that were sitting in the office. The way foster care works is there is a page to where all the children, get listed daily for other foster parents to help take placement of them. And they posted these 3 kids. This was in the first week of us starting to foster. We had already taken, 2, 3, 5 children already on top of our 3 biological kids in the first week. And this post came up about these 3 girls. It was late in the afternoon. They needed a placement. And I called my husband and I'm like, hey, these 3 girls are in the office. They're just sitting there. They're going to split them up. They're teenagers. And he was like, babe, I don't know. We've already taken these other 5 kids. To take 3 more.
like for the first week, the way that I would shit my pants.
They're glutton for punishment, okay?
The 4th phone call, I'm like, we fell.
Yeah.
It's full.
So he was like, we don't even have mattresses for those bunk beds that you have. And I was like, well, how about this? How about if I'm able to get mattresses for the bunk beds by, this afternoon, can I take placement? And he's like, if you think you can do it, yeah. In my mind, I'm like, I've already got this post on Facebook, ready to go. You know? And we did. I ended up saying yes, and the community basically rallied around us, and they had clothes by that afternoon. They had beds by that afternoon. And those items actually came from my hometown, and they drove them in that night, and we ended up having beds and clothes. And from that point, just the community support. They were like, hey, we have this, we have that, can we drop it off? And I started storing it in my garage. And, when people would go on that page, it's like, hey, does anybody have this? I'm like, hey, I have it. You're welcome to come get it. I'm not using it, right now. And somebody came one day and they was like, why don't you start a foster closet? Because I had used my garage and basically built shelves and turned it into a storage place for all these clothes and baby items just in case. Because like I said, we were taking a placement every single day. And when they said that, I was like, what even is a foster closet? What do they do? And it was the same thing you're doing right now, just, become a nonprofit so you can get more help. And that's basically how we started, was from those 3 girls And then fast forward, a couple years, we went into a storage unit because we moved to Cane Bay. And we was like, I know all this stuff isn't going to our house. We got enough kids now at this point.
Yeah.
So we're not moving this stuff with us. So it went to a storage unit, and from that point, it went into the same house that those 3 girls had came from. In foster care, when they first were placed in foster care, their grandparents had left them a house. And unfortunately, when you have a house like that, it takes a lot of money to, go in and gut it and redo it. And we was like, well, why don't we use the closet to help these 3 girls that, came out of this. And in the meantime, also help these other children, that are in the same situation they were in. And basically just keep their house until they're 25 years of age to where we can give it back to them and it be in better shape than what they came from. And like I said, over those years, it continued to help other children. And I mean, it's helped so many children. So now it's a full closet. Every room has, some kind of item in it for a child, whether it be the boys from ages 0 to 10, or, we have a girls' room that is 0 to 12. And then we have our teenagers' room along with beds and cribs and whatever a child may need from the ages 0 to 18. We have that. And then we started a program called Next Steps, which helps teenagers that are aging out of foster care. So if they're getting their first placement or their first house, or they're going to college, like we have a program that is set to help them as well. So if they need furniture, their whole house furnished, we, make a post and the community rallies around them and we're able to help them in that way as well. So it's like basically a circle of life that all this, started. But
I love that you guys talk about how you do stuff for like teenagers, people who are aging out, because I feel like that group is like the heartstring for me.
They're like the
plus,
forgotten
I ain't trying
ones.
to mess with no little kids, okay?
it's crazy because I actually knew you were probably going to say that, because this morning, just to tell you how it works, obviously, we have 8 teenagers in high school, so teenagers are kind of our thing. I'd rather
You
do
made me
teenagers.
sweat just with that sentence. I got hot.
Teenagers
Like,
are a lot easier.
yeah, they're like, everybody else is like, oh, I want a baby, and I'm like, no,
No.
I want to sleep. Like,
I want
like
to sleep, and also I can still tell you what's up, okay?
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah, like,
I can't
I
tell a 3-year-old what I want to say, right?
Yeah, like
I do.
I can give them the same energy like they're giving me. Like, okay,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
you want to, let's go. Like, would you step outside?
Yeah.
Like, let's go.
Do you have, like, instead of live, laugh, laugh, is it like fuck around and find out?
Yeah.
Because that's how my house would be if I had that many teenagers.
Exactly. Yeah, catch me outside. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, and, even like a shirt this week that I bought, said had mom, mama, and bruh.
I
And
saw
I'm
that. That's
I mean,
cute.
Yeah, I say bruh. The kids say bruh more than they say mom.
Nothing
Right.
prepares you for that shit.
Yeah. No.
But I love that you do that, because I feel like so often kids, there's just like a drop off point with the system. It's like, okay, we're done
Yeah.
here. We've done what we needed
Yeah.
to do.
Or people
essentially by the
assume
state
they're-
law, and
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened this morning. So my phone rung this morning at 7 a.m. and it was a teenager on the other side. I think she said she was 19 years of age. She lives right there in Goose Creek. And she called for assistance. She's like, hey, like, I don't know where to go. I don't know where to turn.
Oh, she called herself.
She called the Closet of Hope.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, she called the Closet of Hope, just looking for a resource. She's like, I have a job. She's like, I'm getting ready to start, at a daycare with a teaching, like in pre-K. And she was like, but I don't have, she's like, I'm trying to make ends meet. She's like, I rent a room here in Goose Creek. She's like, I signed myself out of foster care after like my 37th placement. And she was like, it just wasn't for me. And she was like, so I signed myself out thinking I would be better. She's like, but by the time that I pay rent and by the time I get food, she's like, I don't have the necessities that I need, just like something as simple as deodorant and, body wash. Or she's like, I'm getting ready to start this job and I don't have like professional clothes to like do this. So I kind of like just listened to her story a little bit, and she kind of like started crying. And I was like, well, have you like reached out to anybody? Like, do you have anybody? And she was like, no, ma'am. And she's like, honestly, like, I hate asking people because I feel like I'm not worthy of like people's help. And I'm like, well, first of all, like, you are worthy. And I was like, kind of tell me a little bit about your backstory. Like, why did you come in foster care? And she told me. And she was just like, I feel like, nobody's ever cared. She's like, my mom's never admitted that, she done wrong. And she's like, that's all I want is like for her to say sorry, and like to admit that she was wrong. And I told her, I was like, well, you got to understand, like, for her to do that also means that she has to, admit that she failed at something. And I was like, for her, like, she's probably already going through so much, But for her to know that she failed at something else, like that's just something else is going to bring her down more. And for her, she can't do it. I was like, I see both sides, but
You see both sides because you try to maintain a future relationship with them, and we see that through like your social media, and obviously we're friends with you and stuff, and we do see how you try to, maintain some kind of relationship, because I know all too well that, I had a lot of anger towards my mom for a lot of years. Now I'm grateful for all the things that she did because it made me who I am. But I mean, how many times did she apologize for what she did in front of you? A million times for stuff that you weren't even around for. I was like a little kid, right?
Yeah.
Still apologizing for those things.
Yeah, I feel like I do that now, and I'm not. I don't feel like I'm a bad mother. Like I feel like I go above and beyond. But some days I'm just like, dang, like I should have done better.
I could have handled
that better.
I
could have handled that better. Like you have so much on your plate, and you get to a point where you just snap or you go off, and you're like, you know what?
It wasn't about
really
them,
wasn't
but
it really wasn't even about them. It wasn't worth all that tantrum that I just put on. But so I'm sure like the older that I get and the older my kids get, I'm gonna look back and be like, ugh, like did I handle this situation right? So I don't feel like you have to be a bad mother to feel like that. But yeah, like I try to see a lot of our biological families, stories, only because I feel like it's a cycle that never ends. When a child goes into foster care, most of the time, and a lot of people look at children when they come into care as if it's abuse. A lot of times it's just poverty in itself. Like they don't have enough funds to, make ends meet. And they don't have family to reach out because their family was poor or their family came from nothing. And they just never get ahead. Like they don't have that mom or dad to call and say, hey, my flat tire, it just popped, like I need to borrow $70. It's making a choice between, am I going to pay this light bill? Am I going to put food on the table, or am I going to buy my tire? And all it, realistically, all it takes is one thing like that to happen and you get behind, and it's like,
then you can never catch up.
Yeah. I mean, it's just downhill from there. And then, DSS really, when they give the plans to parents, it's really not real. It's not realistic. Like it's almost impossible, especially when you come from nothing and you have no family to help you. I mean, you're on your own. And I mean, you try to think about, even for us, like how hard is it for us to save a couple $100 to go here and there? Like every time we seem like we have it, if something else pops up.
Girl, something I don't know.
Impossible.
And I feel awful even saying this out loud. Well, first of all, I'm going to say it out loud, but know that anybody that's listening, if you actually listen to our first episode, you know that I come from the gutter, baby. Okay, so I'm going to say this, and then it won't sound so bad. But we went on vacation. I came back home, and my kids accidentally flooded the kitchen and from the laundry room,
we just
right?
did that last week.
And I was so mad. I'm like, oh great, vacation cost me this much more. I'm so angry about it. But like as you just say that right there, like totally put in perspective. But bitch, you can afford it. So like, come on.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you just need that little bit of check, that little bit of reality to be like
it could have been worse.
It could have been worse, and like you're blessed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Even now, like we have a lot of kids, but like thinking about that child this morning that called. She's 19 years old. Like,
Did you take her in?
I did not.
I know damn well she coming to dinner. She don't have a room. I knew it.
She is coming to dinner, so she called to get clothes, but her story like broke me so bad. I'm like, listen, like look us up online. At least you know who we are as a family. Like you get to know us a little bit.
Well, I'm sure it's scary for her too. She's like, I don't know these people.
Yeah, and she just started crying, and I knew, and she even told me, she's like, I get
dinner with 20 of you.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I mean, like
intimidating.
I warned her that we were a large family.
I
I warned her we were a large family, but she was just like, I can tell by the way that you're talking to me, like that you really care. And I was like, I do. I was like, nobody should ever feel like they're alone. And I was like, especially at your age, I was like, you should be living your best life right now, like trying to figure out what the next steps of your life is so you can be successful.
Those are pivotal years.
Yeah,
they are, but those years are going to make her so strong, and she's going to be an amazing human being with the right people.
She's going to learn coping mechanisms that are healthy or not.
Listening to her this morning, like I could tell that like she wanted more. Like she wanted more. She didn't want to ask for more. I mean, she simply was just calling for, professional clothes to go to school, but she needed so much more.
Girl, what size she wear? I got it.
I have no idea. Like I said, I've never met her, but just her story this morning, I was just like, listen, you are welcome to come to our house anytime. Like, this
it's about to be 21.
Yeah,
I know you.
This is who we are. This is who we are. This is, what our family's about. We try to keep in contact with biological families. All our kids, have contact with their biological families. And that's when she started telling us a story about her mom. But yeah, I invited her to dinner, and I'm like, this weekend, she told me she worked, until like 5:30 every day. I was like, don't worry about it. I was like, text me this weekend. We'll go to the closet. We'll get whatever you need. Like, you're welcome to come anytime. And she's really not the only person that we've done that to. Like, we just met one in December. We did the whole food drive for her. She had aged out of care. DSS told her there was no funds for the year. They had met their quota for the year. So, which is, honestly, is totally bull crap when it comes to DSS.
That concept is wild.
I'm thinking in my mind right now are just like, so I can't say it. So it's too political. But,
I'm totally okay with it. Because, I like DSS, but there are some flaws in the system, obviously. But yeah, they had told her
people out here selling their food stamps to gas station people, and we can't feed kids that are getting out of foster care.
Well,
that is crazy.
Could you
imagine leaving Kelly's house, right? Foster care, 6 years, right? Leaving Kelly's house where you have 3 square meals or more, right? Snacks on deck, like full on clean sheets, lights. You coming from Cane Bay, and then one day you wake up, you're aged out, you gotta go. The whole life that you knew, and that's the good life, right? That's the good life of foster care. That's the good side of foster care, right? And then like you're just completely cut off at the knees. Could you imagine? Yeah. Oh my goodness!
Just like that girl, 37 placements.
37 placements.
She has 20 kids for life.
Yeah, she'll just keep bringing more.
Yeah, probably more. But that girl, like I said, she reached out. She was 9 months pregnant. She was on her own. She was a product of the system, and finally she signed herself out. She was trying to get housing. And she's like, I really don't know what I'm going to do. She was behind on car insurance, and the Closet of Hope, stepped in, and we paid her light bill, her car insurance for the rest of the year, and we held that food drive for her to, get her started.
When you say you pay for these things, where do you get these funds from?
From the Closet of Hope. So that's where...
What does that mean? How does the Closet of Hope get the funds?
So that's where the community steps in. So having the monthly donors and having those who, sponsor Closet of Hope becoming, just a large donor for this,
Now, we're not like a super, super large donor, but things like the Glow Fest.
Yep.
Shining light on events are huge.
Yes.
Obviously, finding donors if someone finds it in their heart to donate as well. But yes,
we have monthly donors, and then we have you guys who just had the Glow Walk recently, and obviously you guys raised a couple grand for us, which those funds will come in huge when it comes to that. We have our toy drive coming up. It will go to kids who need Christmas. It will go to those children who, that are aging out of care that, for some reason they can't pay their water bill or can't pay their light bill. At least we can step in. We can't do it all the time, but we can step in to where there are gaps when it comes to the system. And obviously we continue to keep hearing that at the end of the year, the state basically runs out of funds and there's nobody there for that. And that's where we step in. The same thing with this, girl that called this morning. For some reason, we don't have anything in that closet for her to fit. We'll make sure that we get a gift card, or we'll take her shopping, to get her the items that she needs to make sure that she's successful in whatever it is that she wants to do, because every child deserves that kind of support.
100%.
So yeah.
I love that. That's awesome. So one of the questions, I'm going to ask you the fun questions that everyone wants to know, because we already said we were going to ask you these. How many rolls of toilet paper do you use on a, is it a daily roll, or is it
Wait, more importantly, because we all know what kind of toilet paper you use.
Yeah.
What kind of toilet paper do you use?
1 ply, 2 ply, 3.
The cheapest.
Yes, girl, that's my goal right there. Yes. 1 ply, 1 ply, 2 ply, 3 ply.
Yeah.
Y'all can't see it.
You better fold it and then fold it again and then wash your hands after, because we on a budget.
Yes.
You're gonna need a shower the minute you're done.
You're the one that sent me that video on the toilet paper last night, and it was, oh man, I can't even say the things that it was on it. I'll show you after this.
Yeah.
But, okay, so that's one thing that I wanted to know. Do you have a strict shower schedule? Because I remember just having one sibling. I was like, get out of the bathroom. Get out. We need to get out.
There are certain children that you have to bang on the door and hello, what are you doing? Obviously, the boys are the worst.
Well, that's probably their only alone time too, right?
Up, where they're all the cousins are trying to leave for family vacation.
Oh God.
But it's that on a daily basis.
Yeah, I mean, it honestly, shower time is not that bad because we start about 5, 6 o'clock. So
your school times are kind of staggered, right?
That's what I was about to say. So the school times are staggered. So the elementary kids obviously get up in the morning, but they take their showers at nighttime. So no matter what, like some of our high school kids will take them in the mornings, and some of them will take them at night.
Okay.
And then some of them we have to pretty much like drag in the shower with our arm.
Hose them
like,
off.
Yeah, go wash. your hair's greasy,
And you're
like,
like,
you
if you're
stink.
in sports and you have access to showers at school, please take them there.
Yeah, do it there.
Yeah, like, don't bring
Pack
that
your shampoo.
home. Yeah, you stink. Yeah, they never can smell it. So yeah, until you tell them like, hey, like, are you getting ready to fry an egg in your hair? Because that's what it looks like.
Right,
What's
right.
going on?
Right.
And they're like, well, nobody said nothing. And I'm like, well, they were thinking it.
Yeah,
They
I'm here to
didn't
tell
say it, they were
ya.
thinking
How
it.
many gallons of milk do you go through in a week? Do you have an idea?
Probably 6 or 7.
I am
At least.
baffled with
Is
she.
there not a cow in
So
the backyard?
I mean,
I know.
seriously, not in Cane Bay.
At least a gallon a day. It depends on
Yeah.
what we're doing, but I would say probably at least a gallon a day.
I'm just trying to picture it because, like, the way that my 3 go through something, I just can't even imagine
a box
that
of
multiplied.
cereal, you know, normally
It's
you know,
open
you
and
open
gone.
it- yeah, you open a box of cereal and you're like, who ate all of this? And it's really logically only 3 or 4 kids.
Yeah.
that ate it.
Yeah, it doesn't
It was
go very
teenagers.
far.
Yeah.
7 times 52 weeks, correct? Am I doing that math correctly? 7 gallons times 52 weeks is 364 gallons of
a year.
milk.
Yuck. Ugh.
If that's, you should do the math on the laundry. It's about 5 loads a day.
Oh my god! I would do. No, I don't know. Wait, okay, so
Haley's sweating.
That's okay.
52
Times 7
52
equals
weeks
that
and seven.
times 52 weeks. You do 1,820 loads of laundry a year.
Kill me.
Good thing you don't have a septic.
I've already
Jesus.
flooded my laundry room like 3 times this
Oh,
year.
I imagine.
Just
Shit.
last week.
Oh my
God.
god! Do you fold or do they fold?
It depends. So I mean,
You just throw shit in the room and
it
close the door.
honestly, it's probably more than 5 loads because what normally happens if the teenagers do their laundry, they put it in there, they forget about it, and then they're like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's more.
Yeah,
It
they're like,
stinks
I
not
forgot
really
about it. Let
good,
me
yeah.
rewash it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's my kid's favorite game. Oh, it's
and-
not quite dry yet. Let me run it again. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
so
kick your
and then
whole
if you
ass.
put it in the wash machine and it's yours, they put it in the dryer, and then when they go to put their clothes in there, they take them and they put them on the basket in the and then put it on the floor.
Well,
Back
I've
in,
seen
like, the
some
laundry
of your
clothes.
videos before, and I'm curious. Do you really make all those beds every morning?
Depends. Some days, I make my bed every day.
I want to know. Is she really doing?
She
that
makes me
routine
feel
or
so
not?
inadequate because I'm like
Yeah,
20
yeah.
beds. I'm like, nope. Look at mine. One. I'm like, mm-mm.
Yeah, so I do make my
bed
bed
every
every day.
day.
I do make my bed every day because I feel like if I make my bed, like I've done something productive throughout
Oh,
the
have
day.
you read that book?
No.
Make Your Bed. It's
No.
written by a Navy SEAL, and that's the.
She's
one
like,
thing-
what's that? Free time? I don't
Yeah.
read.
That is the one thing that he wrote in there. Is in the beginning of it, the whole thing is called "Make Your Bed," but it was written by a Navy SEAL, and he's like, if you do at least that,
You've done something
you've
productive.
done something productive that day.
I get myself dressed every morning or whatever. Like I try not to go out,
Like this?
in my moo-moo. Yeah, I try not to go out in my moo-moo. I try
Not that
to.
she has that on. I'm wearing sweatpants and a t-shirt. As soon as I walked in the door for my closing today, I was like, sweatpants. Let's go.
Immediately. The minute I'm in my own home.
Yeah,
We're all off.
it may just be like a romper or something easy, but I do try to get myself dressed because I know that I'm not going to have the time to come back. You know, because from
Right.
the time that I wake up, from the time that I go to sleep, like it is full force. My life revolves around my children. Like
Do you ever get like a day where you just get to like binge watch TV and you don't have to do anything?
no,
Ever?
Vacation.
ever.
Oh my god.
No, and I think that's, logistically, people don't understand that. They're like, there's no way, you're doing this, but that's the only thing that I
Are you
do.
tired?
Every day.
I would say, if you say anything other than yes right now.
Yes, of course, every day. But it's almost like a routine. And I just look at it, a lot of people's like, oh, there's no way. Like, I'm failing at having 2 or 3 kids. But I look at it like a job. Like, I get up every
You don't
single
have a
day.
choice but
Yeah,
to
like,
get it
I
done.
get up every single day and I go to work. And honestly, like during the daytime, I really don't care about my house. Like normally, I usually don't care about my house. We do what we call a roundup at nighttime. That religiously.
I love that.
Yeah, that religiously is called every single night. And what that is, that the whole family after dinner, I cook. I don't want anybody in the kitchen when I'm cooking. But I cook, and then after dinner, after everybody eats, then we call roundup about 8 o'clock, and that is everybody coming downstairs. It's not 1 kid, it's not 2 kids, it's not called chores. Obviously, kids don't like chores when you call it that. But they get to pick whatever they want to do. If they like doing dishes, then go do the dishes. If they want to go bathe, one of the littles, go bathe one of the littles. They
It's
would
like closing
rather-
shift at a restaurant.
Yeah, basically just resetting our house and cleaning it so we wake up the next day like it's fresh and ready to go. The floors are sweating them off. All the dishes are done. The counters
Every
are clean.
day?
Every day. every day I go to bed with the
I mean, with
bottom
that
part of
many
my house
people,
clean.
you have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'd be
And
chaotic.
it honestly takes about 20-25 minutes, and
I
our
love that.
whole bottom
Mm-hmm.
of our house is like clean. But it's not like, oh, well, go do your chores, go do your chores. Like
Mhm.
it's I'm doing something, they're
Mhm.
doing something, Tim's doing something. It's not really a chore. We just call it roundup because I feel like kids are allergic to chores, but
Mhm.
not to roundup.
I tell
That's a
my
good
kids
idea.
all the time when we started chores and stuff, they were like, okay, how much do I get paid? You don't get paid to be a productive citizen of this house.
Mm-hmm.
You mean to tell me I have to pay for your light bill, everything that you have on,
Mm-hmm.
like the food in your mouth, and then you want me to pay you to
Yeah,
clean up after yourself?
I feel like
I
when
think
they
it's a no.
when they come to me, it really isn't even about like lights and electricity, water, whatever. But when they come to me and say, "Hey, can I get this for homecoming?" or "Hey,
Yes.
can we go to Parker's?" or something like that, like I'm always like, "Yeah, like this."
That's how we are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like there's never not a point that I say no. Like I mean, logistically, probably.
I mean, within
sometimes,
reason,
but
yeah.
I mean,
Within
there's
reason,
certain
but-
things. I mean, come on. I mean, some of them are
Yeah.
probably like, well, we got like,
Yeah, like,
people
oh, can I
over
have
here.
this $150 pair, $150 pair of shoes? And I'm like, no, unless you want your sister to go without shoes. Like,
Yeah.
Right? You want to be self-fed?
Yeah,
Right.
no, so yeah, I mean, that's how we basically get our house cleaned up. But yeah, of course I'm tired. Yes, of course it's a lot.
Yeah.
And then the closet, obviously, that's on top of it. But I refuse to give that up or to put it down, only because it helps so many people. It helps so many children. Not even the children, but the foster families. Like, I think a lot of people will get the concept that you make a lot of money when you foster. That's
That's
not
a huge
true.
narrative.
Yeah, that's not
Like
true.
you just get paychecks.
Yeah, so what happens when a child comes into care, you don't get paid until about 2 months after that child is there. So if you were to take that, take a child in, just say you take in a 15-year-old girl, most children don't come in with any items. So you take this 15-year-old girl, let's just say that she's African American. So she comes in, she's there for a couple days, she has no hair products, she has no clothes. Obviously, like, she needs to go to school and things like that. She has no feminine products. All that stuff you basically have to go out and buy. So on average, I mean, that buying one outfit these days is about $100. So when you take in a foster child, if they're becoming your permanent placement, you get $100 every 3 months for a clothing allowance for that child.
Oof.
On average, depending on what the age is of that child, the pay per day is no more than $20 for a child every single day in foster care. And
But
that's
you probably can't even feed one kid on that.
oh yeah, like I mean, if you take a child today to McDonald's one time, it's about $11 unless you get them a kids meal, but then it's like 7 or 8. So that's that. That's not like electricity, the water, food, whatever they may need for that
I know
day.
what
The
my
gas.
electricity bill is.
Yeah.
And I know what my water bill is. My electric bill was $400 last month. I can't even imagine what hers is.
Ugh.
Yeah. It's
I cannot imagine. That's what the family of 4, I mean, give or take 5 or 6 kids in it.
I was going to say, you always fall too. You always got
yeah,
little friends
I am
there.
full too. But I love it. Do you not love just having all the kids there?
Are you
I
also
don't
like
know.
the hangout house on top of just having all the kids already? Like, are you where everyone flocks to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only because
I'd rather
they're
than
so
be at my
strict
house
about our kids.
anyways.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so I can dictate and control the environment.
Yeah.
It's a little bit easier for me. I'm really cool and chill, but like they know what I allow and what I don't
Everybody
allow.
wants to be at our house except for our kids.
Yeah.
So, our house is cool to everybody but our kids who live there.
It's
They're
Yeah.
like, I don't want
there's
to
so many people
Yeah,
there.
they're like, I don't want to be here, and I'm like, we're not going anywhere else.
Yeah, good
I mean,
luck.
yeah, I'm just not a person that trusts.
You're not
trusts
trying
other
to track
parents.
everybody down either.
No, they all have like 360, but they know.
Oh my
they,
gosh.
They
Why
know
do
if they
360
turn that.
even have that capability to hold your
Yeah.
family like that?
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Could you imagine their phone plan when they go into like T-Mobile and be like, we're going to switch our phone plan.
And we're
Do you have
over
a family
Verizon.
package?
Everybody over the age of 10 has a phone in our house.
Are you like name dropping Verizon right now? You want me to get you T-Mobile like
No.
sponsorship?
Verizon ain't trying to give nobody nothing.
Yeah, T-Mobile, where you at? Where you at?
Right.
Tax write-off T-Mobile?
With no service in the back of K-Bag.
Yeah, not
right?
at all.
What? Why are we not like, we got to figure this out? I'm going to go to T-Mobile. Let me find out who the fuck okay?
Yeah.
But you do all these really cool videos on social media, and like I just myself am baffled because she'll be like, "How I shop for a family of 20, and my bill comes to like $320," and I'm over here like, "That's what I just spent on a family of 5."
Miss Ma'am.
Yeah, I won't.
I don't even like. I
You-
really
where do you-
don't-
you shop
I-
Walmart, right?
Walmart, yeah,
Yeah.
I really don't even like Aldi's because
I love
Aldi's
Aldi's.
sells a lot of like non-brand things. Like I go in there and
Mm-hmm.
it's like beans and franks for macaroni and cheese, and I'm like, what the?
Yes.
What?
That's how
It's
Eric is.
German
Eric
bread.
won't need any of that.
German food,
No,
yes.
I will
Yeah.
do vegetables. I find that are cheap at Aldi's,
Mhm.
depending. Sometimes they're not so great. You know.
I do like the fresh stuff at
But
Aldi's.
bread, like bagels and things like that, is very cheap at Aldi's. But
Mhm.
other than that, like our family cooks full course meals every day. Like last night we had fried pork chops, so I was probably standing there for a good 3-4 hours frying pork chops. But it's probably not. It probably wasn't that long, but
Wow.
it was a long time.
But if you're probably a lot like my family. Like if my kids are like, we don't ever have like snacks. I'm like, we have snacks. We just have to bake them. Like if we're gonna
Yeah.
do like brownies, we're gonna cook a whole tray of brownies.
Yeah.
If we're gonna do
Yeah.
cookies, we're gonna cook a whole
Yeah.
thing.
I don't buy Little Debbie's and things like that. Like for us, there's logistically only like 6 or 8 that goes in those, so it wouldn't even.
And they're
feed
so
all of my kids.
expensive.
Yeah, it wouldn't even feed all my kids. So yeah, it would be cheaper for me to bake or make a peach cobbler or something like that. But fruits and vegetables pretty much is what they like. Chips. The
You do really
vegetable
good stuff on
straws.
your what is
Yeah.
it, the Blackstone?
Yeah. So we cook a lot on the Blackstone, but on Sundays we make a meal, like a meal prep
Mhm.
menu for the whole week, and we say, hey, we get the family together on Sundays, and we're like, what is it that you want for the week during the for supper? And we make that menu, and then we at that same time we're like, okay, now we need this, this, and this for this meal. Go see if we have it in the pantry before we go anywhere. Like shop in the pantry 1st. Use what you have. Don't buy extra. But we utilize what's in our pantry, and then whatever we don't have, we put it on the list. And then when we go to Walmart, like that's the only thing that we get. Like we don't.
Unless Slayton comes with you.
Unless Slayton and David and them, yeah. But we just, recently this
You
past
stick to
week,
it. Everybody
I stick
eats
to
before
that
we
list.
go to the store.
Yes, you have to eat before you go.
That's the trap right there.
It really is. Going to the
It
store
is.
hungry is terrible.
Publix will ruin your whole life if you go there hungry.
Publix is so expensive.
It's
And-
awful.
And my husband is like die-hard Publix.
Ew.
I don't even like
the
it.
Groceries.
Is it bougie?
I think he likes going at 5:30. So y'all know in Cane Bay, like 5:30, everybody's getting off work.
So you're supposed to go
I
talk to
think it's-
everybody?
No, I think it's the women in there. They wear
Oh, hell no.
sweatpants. I think they're getting home from the gym. I don't. I think.
Damn it.
I think it's the women.
So it makes me mad.
Yeah.
Publix makes me mad because like I have a specific wine that I drink, and I'm trying to get a sponsorship on that too. So like on my new TikToks, I'm like telling J Lord like, hey, what's up? I
Start
drink,
putting
like,
a bottle.
too many of you to not have a sponsorship.
You keep that shit in business right
I
there.
legit do. I just bought.
I'm
8
amazed you're not
bottles
drinking it
yesterday.
right now.
So yeah, I know. I just bought.
Is
8
it in your
bottles of
Stanley?
I know, right? You never know. I don't think I could drink red wine through a straw. That'd be weird. Although I wouldn't have the stains on my teeth if I did that. So you never know. But I bought 8 bottles at BJ's the other day, and there's like $10 to $12 depending on if it's on sale. It is $19.99 at Publix.
Yeah,
So when I'm in a pinch,
that's where you go.
I have to buy it from
See,
there.
but that's money that you could save.
It makes me
If
so
you-
mad. So yesterday, Dylan came
Yeah.
in with a huge case of it. He's like, "This get you by for a while." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, a lot of
You're like,
people-
till Friday.
A lot of people online, they're just like, I don't understand. Like, I have 3 or 5 people and I spend that. Like, how? But if you think about it, like, all the things that you don't really need, or that if you went there and shopped, would be so much cheaper. But yeah,
Or the way you're buying them. Like you're
Yeah.
buying this like bag of Doritos, but you could buy this kind of pack and this way that they come.
So
like-
I'm all about the Walmart brand, like great value.
I just want to go with you one time and just watch you, like watch it unfold because I'm baffled. Like sometimes I try and I'm like, okay, I know what Kelly spent at Walmart this week, this is all I'm gonna do, and then I get to the restaurant, I'm like, God damn it.
I know. And people's like, can you please go grocery shopping for me? Like, can you make my menu? Can you go grocery shopping?
Every time she posts, Eric comments that, when can we pay you to do this? And she's like, in what free time? I'm like,
Yeah, and what
I'll
free
find
time
time.
I'm
I'll find
gonna
time.
shop for you. Yeah.
And I did meal prep on Sunday, and we like prepped everything, and I have meals for the entire week.
Oh,
But
see, I don't like meal prepping. I hate meal prepping because I feel like I'm eating leftovers. And when I was growing up, that's what my parents would cook one
so
day
you
and be
hate
like,
leftovers.
yeah, they'd be like, we gotta meet, leftovers tonight. And I'm like, oh, we had that last night. Like, I don't
Yeah.
want that.
Yeah. So you like to cook every
Plus,
night.
where the hell would you put all of
Where
that
I
shit if
store
you
that.
prepped?
Like, where I store
How
that.
many refrigerators do you have in your house?
2.
2. Deep freezer too?
A stand-up deep freezer, yeah.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah.
What other like little bits of knowledge? I feel like people should like ask questions on like what other bits of knowledge would be like just mind boggling. Who mows the lawn?
My husband.
What? All them kids Nobody going
Listen,
on.
we were just having this conversation earlier about like what happens when there's something going on, so like birthday parties and things like that. That's him, you know. Like if there's something going on inside, he's gonna make sure the grass outside is mowed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, why don't you go outside and paint the fence with a toothbrush? Like that's that's how productive you are.
That's a man thing. Let me vacuum the attic or something. Like what?
Right.
Like,
So
what are
do
you doing right
have
now?
a birthday party for each kid, or do you have big birthday parties
So
for a
no,
couple?
so birthday parties kind of, you know, obviously the smaller ones, like, so we're getting ready to have 3, because their birthday is all within a week. We have 3 of them.
So you have them all
birthdays.
together at the
So
same time.
this one, yeah, it's the smaller kids. So their birthday party is all going to be together. So one is turning 2, one is turning 6, and one is turning 11. So those 3 are going to have their birthday parties together. Obviously, they'll have different little themes, but
I was just like, yeah. Oh wait, so they get different themes. It's
they
not
do
one
get
thing.
they do get different themes. But for the older kids, what we do is they get to choose whether they want to go out to eat and who they want to carry. So they can carry a sibling or they can carry friends, or if they want to go do an activity, they can do that too. Or they can choose their meal at home and then they get cash as well. All of them get cash for, you know, the teenagers, because you're not going to be able to please them with what you buy them.
Yeah.
So it's easier just to give them money and let them choose. So usually it's about $50 that they get for their birthday. Nothing over dramatic. And then
Christmas, everybody gets a gift. Gets
Oh, yeah.
multiple gifts.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, could you
Yes.
imagine their house Christmas morning? Oh,
It
it's
takes
cheaper
us
to
a
take
while.
them on vacation.
Yeah, well, I've tried it. Listen, I've tried that for the past couple of years. I'm
Maybe
like,
if you don't have to
let's-
fly.
I'm like, let's go skiing. Like I
Ew,
love to
what?
ski.
You want to go somewhere cold?
Yes,
That's not fun.
I love to
Do
ski.
you want to have like every kid has a broken elbow or a leg
No,
or
so
something?
Oh,
I've
God.
taken them a couple years ago. We took a majority of our kids, most of the teenagers, obviously not the littles. But we took our kids and they loved it. Like
Really?
every teenager that we've taken, they love skiing. My biological kids love skiing. So
Mm-hmm.
I've tried to say, hey, let's not do presents this year. Like, let's go do, you know, because obviously for us going on a trip is like having Christmas
Yeah.
times 2 for a
Yeah, oh
normal
my
family.
goodness.
So I'm like, hey, let's go rent a cabin, let's go skiing. And they're like, well, can we still get gifts? I'm like, what?
No.
That's not
Yeah,
how
so
money
we
works.
wanted the lottery. We wanted the lottery of kids. Like, you got to
Mm-hmm.
confuse.
Yes. So our family does the same thing. We only go on vacation. Each kid gets one gift and they get one stocking, and that's it. They each get like their little stocking, which we do cheap.
Yeah, I mean, my kids probably couldn't even
Yeah.
tell you what they got for Christmas last year.
So that's the reason why we stopped doing Christmas.
The
stuff,
junk,
because
I hate
just
it.
like how you told me, you always tell them yes, and you say yes to them.
Yeah.
Our kids are like, hey, I need a pair of basketball shoes, and complain about, okay,
Yeah,
get it.
like they
Like,
just
when
went.
I was
They
a
just
kid,
went
you had to
school
wait
shopping.
for Christmas or your birthday to
Yeah.
get that. You know, if you wanted that. So now it's kind of like life is different now. They are able to do that. So we decided that you're gonna have time spent. Lynn now does that with her kids, and one of our other friends is going too. And they were like, "Can you just tell us like how many gifts are you getting your kids? We don't want our kids to." Well, first of all, we open up in separate rooms. We do not do like the morning
Yeah.
of Christmas. We open up our own gifts in our own rooms. And I only do one gift and a stocking. I think that's what you do. And then we do an experience while we're there. Like, hey,
We
we're
do,
gonna be
like-
swimming with the dolphins.
3 because we do. So we usually have us, me and Eric get them something. Grandparents will get them something, and then my kids still all are with the magic. So we still have Santa gifts and all that stuff. So we
Yeah.
do 3.
Yeah, and I still think that's really like a nice way to like have everything. And my kids, you know, when I had gotten really sick with Crohn's and I was in the hospital, the guy was like, you're putting in so much, and your anxiety is so high, and you're so stressed. That is literally why you're dumping blood so much. And so after that, Dylan was like, no more. And I feel like I was like, we need a gift for this exchange. We need to bring a dessert for this one. We need an appetizer.
There's nothing
for this.
relaxing about holidays.
No.
It's a whole
I don't even put up
debate.
a tree. I don't
Yeah,
want
I
to
mean,
put
like,
up a tree. I don't want to put up a
Mhm.
tree. I'm not putting up a tree. Holland wants to put up a tree. She puts up her own tree.
I
Like,
think I do too much. Like, obviously,
It's too stressful. Enjoy
Well,
your
we
hobby.
also all have the personalities to be fucking extra
Yeah,
on top
like,
of
that's
it,
what I'm
and we
about to say,
create
like,
that mommy magic.
Yeah, whatever chaos I have in my life, like I did it to myself,
Yeah,
obviously, because
Self-inflicted,
you're
for
sitting here
sure.
talking about you're not wanting to put up one tree, and I'm sitting over here with like 16 kids still in my house putting up like 10 trees.
So
But we
used
can't
to
help
do that.
it. We can't
We
help
used
it.
to
Makes
do
the
that.
magic.
Each kid had a Christmas tree
Yeah,
in
that's
their
what I did.
room.
Mhm.
The loft had one.
That's
The
what I did.
downstairs had one. The front porch, the back porch. They were
I
everywhere.
love Christmas though. I love
I
fall,
do too,
I love decorating.
I don't want to decorate it. No, and I'm actually to the point where
She said no.
No, I'm actually to the point where I think decorations are a waste of money. So I won't even. I'm like, oh, I want to come and look at it, and I want to have that little teal pumpkin,
I know, I just
but I
reuse
just
everything
like
I have.
no.
But it's storage space. Like,
Yeah.
I just pitch it all. I'm
Yeah.
done. I don't want to do any of this anymore. I'm crazy like that.
I'm
But
running out of
anyways,
storage space.
completely off
Yeah.
topic now. But give us a couple things. I know that we're gonna put the links for people to go to donate,
To
the
volunteer,
websites,
all that.
volunteer, all those things. Give me two things that you think that people could do. One that they could financially help with, and one that maybe it doesn't really cost them anything.
Yeah, so again, becoming a monthly donor is our big, need right now.
Do they do that on the website?
Yeah, they can
And
do it on the
what's the
website.
price range for the monthly donor?
You can do as little or it can be $1 a month. You get to put in what your budget is set for every single month, and you can just put it reoccurring to where it comes out every single month. When you get to a point to where you think it's too much, you can, stop it. But yeah, just becoming a monthly donor. And then we have, like you guys, you put on the Glow Walk, putting on an event, whether it might be a fundraiser or if it's a school, like.
And we're getting ready to
selling-
put together a gala, so that's going to be a huge
selling
fundraiser.
50-50 tickets, and 50% going to Closet of Hope and 50 going to the winner, something so simple like that. Yeah, we're working on the gala for the spring, which I'm super excited about. But you can also hold drives, whether the summertime, springtime, wintertime is coming up, but you can hold like coat drives. A lot of the times we need just toiletries, deodorant and shampoo, conditioner, just all kind of hair care products. Just something so simple as that. We have churches right now that are, they're having drives just collecting those items for us. Neighborhoods, if you're in a neighborhood, you can go on your neighborhood page and say, hey, like I'm raising this for Closet of Hope. It can be just toothbrushes for that month. Like, hey, we're only collecting toothbrushes and toothpaste for this month. Or, hey, we're only collecting body wash this month. Something so simple as that. Or even thinking on a larger page of the families, just like you just stated, when it comes to, and my family's not the only large family in the Low Country. My sister's a foster mom also, and she has 9 children. And, from day one, she's like, I will never have that many. And here it is 2 years later, and she has 9. Only because she couldn't say no once she started. So my parents actually adopted, so I have a 6-year-old little brother.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, so my mom is 64 years old, and I have a 6-year-old brother.
Oh my gosh.
It was it's actually really, really sad, but it's a distance relative that, she had became pregnant. It's like her 5th kid, and DSS called one day and was like, hey, like you've been named to come get this child. Is that something that you'd be willing to do? And she did, and fast forward 6 years later, they, obviously have adopted now, but probably
So
about
wait, from
birth.
From birth. Oh
They've
my gosh,
had
could you imagine being
Yep.
64 years old and be like, well, starting over now?
Yep,
I
from
cannot.
birth. Yeah.
I mean, that's not patience of a saint by that age,
Yeah.
and then you've like been through it all. Like,
I mean,
your
I also, I would
mother
never
is
say
getting
no,
things that
but
you only wish you
Oh
could.
no! Listen,
Oh, hell yeah.
we are cut out the wheel. We will never see anything. Like when we were growing up,
Walks on water.
when we were growing up, we were like, "Oh, I'm gonna get the house, or I'm gonna get mom's car." Or, we're not getting nothing, nothing.
I feel like we also always have this idea when you're younger, like we talked about before, like when you're younger, you look at someone our age and you're like, oh, they're such an adult. Sometimes shit pops off and I'm looking around like, where's the adult? Oh, fuck, it's me.
It's me.
Damn it. Like, you just think like, oh, you've got to have so much money and you have all your shit together. Like, no, you don't.
So, yeah, they're involved with it. My other sister, Crystal, she has 5 children that are not hers.
How many children did your parents have?
4.
So there's 4 of you
There's
guys.
4 biological, and now I want to say there is probably about 32 grandkids.
Whoa.
Oh my goodness.
So-
Any greats yet?
Yeah, there
Okay.
are 4 great grandkids, and
So
one
if
on
you
the
guys
way,
want to have a
obviously.
family thing together, like where do you have to go? Where do you go for that?
Usually we go to my mom's, so they live about 1.5 hours, 2 hours away. We go there. Last year for Christmas, we got to the point to where Christmas was so chaotic. So what we normally do is we go to my mom's on Christmas Eve, and she buys Christmas for everybody. But obviously, it's got
Does she need
load.
another grandchild?
I'm adoptable, I'm just saying.
It's gotten to the point now that like I said, obviously there's like 30 some grandkids and great kids now that that's realistically, like, in the economy that we live in, like, there's just no way.
Mm-hmm.
So last year we was like, hey, instead of giving out gifts, why don't we plan a trip? Like, we love the memories, like, we're together.
Yeah.
So last year, that's what we did. We went up to Tennessee. We got a cabin together, and we all managed to go and come back in one piece. Like, we all made it.
That's
you know,
fun.
normally,
And you have
normally you
memories.
get the
You
family
got
together.
memories.
Yeah, normally you get the family together, and there's, you know, like a splat, and somebody leaves early, or, you know, something goes wrong. But
Mm-hmm.
everything went well. We enjoyed it. You know, we went and did the sky lifts, and we went to shows.
I feel like
it
the
was-
only Christmas presents that they can provide for you as a mother is to not have to cook the entire vacation. I'm gonna need all y'all to give me the gift.
Yeah, you know, honestly, and it's the same way with the closet, but a lot of the parents, they only want, like, the necessities. Like, when you think about our family and you're like, what can we do for you? What can we do for you
Right.
to, like, help you out? Because there's so many people out there that want to help, they don't know how to help.
Yeah.
So getting plugged in with a nonprofit like Closet of Hope and becoming a monetary donor, or, you know, coming to volunteer. It don't cost you anything to come. We're open on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 to 1, and you can come volunteer. Like,
Well, you gotta sort all that stuff that you intake.
Yeah. So we
Right.
have the volunteer hours, but it's the same thing with, like, foster families. Like, the parents are looking at it from, like, necessities. Like, you can buy us, when you go to Sam's, you can buy us an extra pair, you know, extra pack of toilet paper or extra pack of laundry detergent. Like, those things, like, help out tremendously, you know?
Yeah.
If you see a sale on toothbrushes or toothpaste, like, oh, you know, they're buy one, get one free, let me get, you know, 10 for Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we won the lottery.
Yeah.
So for us girls,
Do you, when you do laundry detergent, do you only use a certain kind? Or you use a sunset? Oh, she's bougie about it. I can tell bougie.
no. So it depends. If it's my clothes, then yes. But if it's the kids' clothes, no, because they waste it. Like, they put so much laundry detergent, it doesn't matter what it is. It's gonna
Well, you know,
smell
I
good.
use the 5-gallon buckets that I get from fundraisers back in Indiana, and then I have them shipped down to me. And I usually get, for my family, I have to get 2 5-gallon buckets for the year. But it's, I know you'd have to
A
get a lot.
5-gallon bucket of sugar don't last us for a week.
Oh my gosh.
We were just talking about this
But my thought
earlier.
was, I mean, that's like literally like, I think I pay like $50 and I get a 5-gallon bucket of like soap. That's cheap for it. I don't even know if it's 50, it might be 35. I can't remember how much it is, but whatever it was, I was like, I only need 2 of these a year. Perfect.
Yeah, I just took the tea pitcher out. So we have a 3-gallon, you know, container that we put in our fridge. Obviously, we took a shelf out, put it in there. It's got a little spout on it. They can, you know, just mash a little button, it comes out. But in a day, they've gone through 3 gallons of tea. In
Oh
a day.
my goodness.
In a day. So yeah, I just pulled that out earlier, and I'm like, are y'all kidding me right now? Like, where is this going?
Like,
we
you
live
guys
in
okay?
We live in Somerville, where it's known for the sweet tea, but good lord, like, what are
Oh
you
my
doing?
goodness, that's crazy.
So yeah, 3 gallons of tea. But I mean, honestly, if you think about it, for that many people, that's probably on average for a normal family. You know, about a gallon.
You
Yeah.
have 20 people.
Yeah.
You guys probably do much better at not wasting shit. Like, the amount of stuff my kids probably throw away or
girl.
let go
Oh
bad.
yeah,
like,
no. I'm like, oh, you're not gonna eat that. Give that to him. You got
there's
2.
dinner.
Yeah. One's asking for chicken nuggets, and you're like, he's got 2 and he's not gonna eat them. Go ahead and get those, and then I'll give you 2 more. And you have 4. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
glad I'm not the only one that has to negotiate at the dinner table.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. But yeah, there's many different ways they can get plugged in for sure.
I absolutely love that. So we'll make sure we have everybody's links and everything that they need to, you know, help out wherever you can. I think just a little bit goes a long ways, even if you're not able to do a lot. But if you're willing to do a lot, we'll take you up on that too, right? I mean, definitely.
You want to donate like a yacht? We're here for it.
Yeah. She's so extra.
Yeah, she's talking about it. Yeah, I'm thinking, like, you know, a hotel room for the weekend, so we can just go sleep. So Tim and I
Oh
can
my
go
God.
sleep. Like,
So you can just watch whatever you want to watch.
yeah,
Just watch
well,
a show.
I just want to sleep. Like, I don't want to leave the room. Like, our anniversary is coming up, and we always go take a trip. You know, we talked about this last year, Lynn, about going to Las Vegas, or last year we went to Cherokee.
There's the kids.
Yeah, so we have to pay our oldest daughter $500 for whatever the weekend that we go.
She does good with them,
Yeah,
though.
she
Does
does.
she not remember the things that you have done for her? No, I'm just kidding.
No, so Morgan actually has moved back in.
Well, she's got to
you
take
never
off.
freak
She
out.
works, so she has to take off
Yeah,
work when
she
she
has
does
to take
that
off
stuff.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Girl, you do it
So
for free now.
she's paying student loans and things like that. So we do try to, you know, value her time as well. So yeah, we do pay her to help out. But
You're so nice.
yeah,
She's one of my favorites. I enjoy harassing her all the time.
I feel like I've scarred her because like she just got done with school and she's like, I just want to be a mom. And I'm like, why don't you go to work? And she's like, I just want to be a mom. And you know, Gavin, her significant other, which I feel like a proposal's coming really soon. Like I know what it is, but I can't tell. But I feel like he was adopted. So like he knows what it, you know,
He
what it's
understands
like.
the
Yeah,
life,
he's
yeah.
been in
Which
the
is probably
family.
perfect because
Yeah.
then there's no wondering. He gets
so
it.
they've kind of talked about it about, you know, them having 2 kids and then they want to adopt as well. So I feel like I've kind of rubbed off on her. I don't know if that's like a curse or a blessing to her.
Well, one of the things I love
Oh,
about
yeah.
your family is how real you guys are, like down to earth.
Yeah.
Like not trying to put on like a fake facade or anything.
Oh,
Like
no, girl, we
I
pull-
think people love you because you can be relatable. You know.
We
Yeah.
run a whole shit show.
I love it. All right, well, that's going to be it for us today, and we're probably going to have you back on the show just to talk about a crazy life, anyways, because it's so interesting to me. But we were really grateful that you were here with us.
Yeah, thanks for finding the time to cram in this little office with us.
I don't know what I'm going to go back to, but yeah.
Your house is burning.
Right? And that's a wrap. If you like what you heard, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe. And as always, you can listen on Apple, Spotify, and more. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube for video podcast. We'll see you next week.